There's a reason Corey Holcomb's reaction to Louis C.K.'s new Netflix special caught people's attention, and it comes down to one word: timing. Louis C.K. has officially returned to Netflix with his new special, Ridiculous, and however you feel about him, that comeback alone speaks volumes. Netflix was one of the platforms that severed ties with him after the scandal broke years ago, so watching him walk back through that same door feels like a moment worth noting. In the world of mainstream comedy, his period of exile appears to be over. He weathered the industry fallout, rebuilt his career independently through his own website, held on to his fan base, kept touring, put out specials on his own terms, and now he's landed back on one of the biggest platforms in entertainment. That's exactly where Corey Holcomb's reaction gets interesting. On the 5150 podcast, Corey sounds genuinely caught off guard that Louis is back on Netflix, but once he digs into the special itself, he doesn't hold back the respect. He acknowledges Louis, plain and simple, as a comic who's earned his stripes.
Back on this shit I'm talking about with what comedians do, what comedians say. I turned on Netflix and I was shocked when I saw a comedian had a special on Netflix, because this comedian has been part of some real controversy. His name is Louis C.K. Now, he the type of motherfucker, he the type of white boy, if I ever was talking to him off stage or off cameras or anything, I had to tell him, homie, you can't play with me like that.
Yeah.
He throw the N-word around.
Yeah, I just seen that shit he did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he throw the N-word around. But not, he wouldn't do that shit if we wasn't, if we was somewhere where it was just us, I already know, I'll be, hey, homie, you know, we're not on stage or nothing like that. You can't talk like that around me. And he'll respect it, because what else he gonna do? What else he gonna do? When we ain't in front of the camera or nothing like that, he gonna respect it. But this is what I wanna say. I was so shocked to see him on Netflix, because Netflix has had a policy where they keep away true headliners. And that might make some people mad, but this motherfucker is a true headliner. I don't give a fuck what you say about Louis C.K. Have you ever seen him perform? I was shocked. I was like, they let Louis C.K. on Netflix? He's a headliner, homie. I'm talking about these guys. It's some headliners out here.
They let him back fast.
He is. If you want to see something different, watch Louis C.K. on Netflix. Because he talking about, he say racist shit. He say shit about being with young kids. He say all it, and I didn't know they let him on Netflix. But if you want to see something different.
Corey doesn't hesitate to call him a true headliner, and to Corey, that title carries real weight. It means you're not coasting on a gimmick. You're not relying on one viral clip, one catchphrase, one angle, or a wave of industry hype to keep you afloat. It means you can walk on stage, hold that room for an hour or more, and do it purely on the strength of your material. That's the part Corey seems to respect most. He's not painting Louis as clean-cut, safe, or above criticism. He's painting him as a genuine craftsman of comedy, someone who can pull an audience into uncomfortable territory, push them somewhere awkward, and still make the whole thing feel deliberate, controlled, and undeniably well-built.
He look bad. Yeah, he look old as hell right there. I was laughing. I love it when I get a real laugh, because he got a joke about the old folks home. How you get to take your parents there and they just take them from you. He said you give them some money and they just take them, because there's nowhere else for him to go. You get what I'm saying? He's like, his dad was 89 and he was doing the shit when they wheeled him off. His dad was just waving goodbye. He's gone. You know, like a daycare, bitches take their kids to the daycare, but they got to come get them at the end of the day. These old folks home, you could just drop your people off there and wait. Y'all got it? All right, I'm gone. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was funny, especially the way he do it. I'm not doing it the way he do it.
I'm gonna have to check it out though. I mean, I will.
I'm gonna check it out. It's on Netflix.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm from.
Oh, you already saw it, Mom? It was good.
I'm from an era where headliners go there.
Yeah.
I mean, all this new internet shit where you get push up in a nigga fago and all these trendy motherfuckers talking shit about how a nigga move and putting labels on them. All right, I'm here to tell you, you can go watch your favorite comedian and then come to my show and you will see why the fuck my nuts hang like they do. I'm very confident in who I am as a comedian, and I believe this man is too. Now, I ain't gonna lie, he the type of motherfucker, if I was around him, I might have to check him. Not right off top, but if he ever did something out of pocket and we ain't on camera, I'm gonna be, hey, homie, you can't do that with me. But if you wanna see something different, watch his Netflix special. Watch his Netflix special. Because I'm telling you, man, I'll be waiting to see somebody riveting. Somebody funny.
Hell yeah.
He a storyteller, and he got that shit down packed, man. So I'm just saying, man, I believe Netflix gonna eventually come around, and they picked him obviously as one of the first ones to come around with, because this motherfucker ain't got no cake mix shit. It's all, oh shit type shit.
Corey brings up specific bits, jokes about growing old, about parents being shipped off to nursing homes, and other moments where Louis dives headfirst into uncomfortable territory. Corey even admits he doesn't agree with everything Louis says on stage, but he respects the craft behind it because none of it feels cookie-cutter. That distinction matters because Corey has always been wary of comedy that feels overly polished, too corporate, too calculated, material built to chase applause rather than earn real laughter. So when he watches Louis C.K. still taking risks on stage, even after everything he's been through, Corey takes that as proof the man hasn't lost a step. He's still, in every sense, a headliner.
And he's slick with how he worded. He got some shit about being with an 11-year-old boy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, watch it. I'm telling you that if you want to see a headliner work,
But I'm gonna check it out for
Yeah.
sure.
Watch when I go home.
watch this headliner work. This is a headliner, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a gimmick. This is not he got the numbers. This is a headliner.
Yeah.
And I don't know Louis C.K. Nobody prompted me to do this. I just was happy that I was like, when I saw it, I was like, is that him? They let him do this?
Well, he did perform during the Netflix, at Hollywood Bowl, right? Did he do Hollywood Bowl?
No, I know he has a cult following, but when you think of comedy specials, why hasn't this dude been out there promoted as one of the comedians you should see?
Because he had his own, he was doing his own thing. So he's like you.
He was doing his own thing because he got caught up. He got
No,
caught up in
before
some-
that. It was before it, right? That's what I thought too.
He has his own circle. So he does pay-per-view, which is like he has a bunch of specials that don't go nowhere else but to his circle.
I understand that, but now he's on Netflix, which is the ultimate.
Because he said this was his last tour, though. That's why.
Okay, well, he could say it's his last tour, whatever he wants to do. I was shocked to see a real headliner on Netflix. I'm talking about, and that's not me dissing all the comics who's been on Netflix. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm talking about, I know headliners. A headliner is not a word you could really say. If you can't get them people an hour,
Oh, yeah.
you're not a headliner.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I ain't talking about gimmicks. I'm talking about, sit up there, you got enough bits to do at least an hour. And I'm not talking about a wishy-washy hour. You could do an hour, you really could do 2 hours. But you gotta be able to do an hour to be a real headliner to me.
But there's another layer worth mentioning here. Just months earlier, Corey himself was in the middle of his own share of controversy. To be clear, Corey's situation and Louis C.K.'s situation aren't the same, and they shouldn't be treated as equivalent. Still, from where Corey's standing, there's likely a sense of shared experience, being singled out, judged publicly, clipped and shared online, debated endlessly, and painted as someone who stepped over a line. Corey has faced accusations of going too far more than once, and part of what defines his brand is his refusal to deliver the kind of neat, scripted apology the public usually expects from people in his position. So when Corey looks at Louis, he's probably not just seeing a comedian making his way back to Netflix. He may be seeing someone who got publicly branded, pushed out of polite industry circles, and who still found a way to keep moving forward regardless. And for Corey, that story likely hits closer to home than he'd say outright.
saying, and I watched the man do it. Wait a minute, he got canceled for a minute. That's right, he did get canceled for a minute because this is a wild boy.
Yeah.
He did way
You don't remember what he did?
out of pocket shit. I know what he did.
Yeah, his mom
I ain't
is.
saying it because
I thought
I'm
it
not
was,
hating
yeah.
on him.
Exactly, yeah, I feel you.
I'm not hating on Louis C.K. When you hear me talk about comics, you be hearing me say shit like they ain't funny. And what I said is the truth. A lot of these motherfuckers are not funny. They get through it. Now I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna bring up a name. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I said something about our brother, I'm not dissing him, our brother, Dave Chappelle before. And what I'm saying is, Dave Chappelle is not finna miss out on no money that Netflix is giving him if they're giving it to him. And I get that. But what I'm saying is, I watched Dave Chappelle's last special and I was in awe that he even allowed that to happen. But if you say money, the money adds up and makes sense. You get what I mean when I say that? You ain't gonna miss out on this paper. So yeah, get that paper. But I'm like, Faison was talking about it earlier. When you're a comedian, if you got a special every year, every other year, that shit ain't gonna be special. Unless you really are a dedicated writer.
Yeah.
You have to be a dedicated writer. And we all know most of these comics are not dedicated writers. In fact, I seen motherfuckers sit on a same routine for 20 plus years. 20 plus years, he dropped the same routine. But I'm saying like a guy like this dude's Louis C.K., I'm not saying he's the greatest comedian in the world, but that's a headliner. And for me to give him his props, I know people gonna watch it because I'm not gonna say it just to be saying it. That's a headliner. He take you on a ride. Because I didn't agree with most of the shit he said, but I was like, oh, he's stupid. This motherfucker's stupid. This is why I watch comedy. I want to be shook up.
For Corey, being canceled didn't erase what Louis C.K. could do on stage. It may have reshaped how people see him, but it didn't strip away the edge that made him such a compelling, even dangerous performer to begin with. And honestly, I get exactly what Corey's reacting to, because I watched Ridiculous myself a few days ago, and I thought it held up well. Not flawless, not some jaw-dropping reinvention, but solid. What stood out to me was how much more mature Louis felt compared to some of his earlier work. The crude material is still there, the taboo subjects are still there. That familiar dark streak that's always defined his comedy hasn't gone anywhere. But underneath all of it, the special carries a weathered, lived-in quality. It plays like the work of a man genuinely wrestling with time, mortality, embarrassment, family, shame, and the strange indignity that comes with simply getting older.
Different comedy for different people, you know what I'm saying? Different styles, yeah, different variations.
Yeah, people
so.
say that, but I'm a
Right,
black man from the streets. It's not easy to make me laugh.
It makes sense that the online reaction has been so split. Some fans loved the special, others found it underwhelming, and plenty of critics immediately circled back to the misconduct and the cancellation that followed it. Honestly, that reaction was inevitable. There's no version of Louis C.K. releasing a Netflix special in 2026 where audiences simply forget the last decade. His scandal is now baked into the context. Whether he brings it up directly or steers clear of it entirely, people are going to watch through that lens regardless. But Corey isn't watching through that same lens. He's focused on the craft itself, whether Louis can still command a room, whether he can still build tension and deliver payoff without falling into the same safe, algorithm-friendly patterns so much of modern comedy has settled into.
Years ago, Louis C.K. was cancelled because of, I'm not going to get into it, but we all know it involved hands, it involved women. It was a big deal back in the days, maybe around 2018, 2019. Louis C.K. is known. He's talked about being a rather somewhat hypersexual individual. So it kind of made sense when it was revealed what he was doing behind the scenes. It kind of made sense. I remember watching his show, Louis. He talked about, addiction and, maybe like sexual addiction and whatnot. There was this one classic episode where Louis C.K. is sitting in a panel with a Christian woman, a Christian preacher, and he's talking about how he's addicted to, you know, beating off. And that was a very, very funny episode. So when it was revealed that Louis C.K. had been doing certain things behind the scenes, I gotta be honest, it didn't surprise me. He'd been telling this to us all along, so it didn't surprise me, you know what I mean? And some people think that maybe mainstream media and, you know, all the Hollywood studios, the television studios were going a bit too hard on Louis. Some people believe that he should have been given a second chance, but guess what? In 2026, it seems like he has been given a second chance. It seems like Netflix has forgiven him. So